Hey, Dex here with a bit of a walkthrough for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This one is part 1 of my walkthrough and will be taking you through the level Inkwater Marsh. I won't be going for any of the collectibles at all in this particular playthrough. It will literally just be showing you how to go through each level by level in the most efficient manner. Obviously, right at the start of the game, you have a little tutorial with the owl. You'll have noticed if you've started playing the game already, which is like kind of learning how to move and jump, and you get to glide a little bit as well. It's kind of like I say, the tutorial level. So we're going to skip straight past that and go straight into the Inkwater Marsh, which is where we're at the moment. So right at the start of the game, you obviously don't have any attacks whatsoever. All you can do is move around. This is obviously advanced as we're getting through. Just follow the path that I'm going and all will be jolly and merry. So the first thing we're going to do is find our way into kind of further down area where you'll be getting your first attack. Again, we're still kind of in the tutorial stage of the game, so there's not a lot to kind of describe where you need to go. But the first thing you want to do is there's this like kind of door on the right hand side that we're going to find an entrance to. You want to pick up some fire, as we can see there. We're going to use that to defeat our enemies. So now at least we do have a little bit of attack, but we come across a door. The door says you need a key to get through. Luckily, part 1 of the key is achieved by getting part 2 of the key anyway. So it's still telling you in the game what each little orb does, but make your way onto the left hand side, doing a few jumps, getting over the obstacles, making our way to go get our key to the door. This bloke here is basically telling you that he will give you the first part of the key if you achieve the second part of the key, which can be found in this tomb type area. Just keep following left at this point, jumping over the area. There shouldn't be too much to trouble you so far. Obviously we can't reach that ledge yet because we still don't have a double jump feature, which we'll be picking up shortly. Well, shortly, I'd say halfway through this video, about 15 minutes into this video we should have that double jump feature. But for now, all we can do is, we don't even have our own proper attack yet. Right now we've just picked up some fire and can fight with it. You need to make sure you defeat that creature, because defeating the creature will open this door here and come across these blue moss, which obviously is the first time we'll come across it. Blue moss allows you to jump on and cling on, so we're going to use that to our advantage. Not do any exploring, as I said, because this walkthrough is purely just getting from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. So make our way through, and that little white item up the left is our key to get through the door. There we go, as you can guess by the name of Keystone. So we make our way back to that bloke we were speaking to before. He'll give us the second piece. Try not to hurt yourself on the spikes like I did there. Speak to him, he'll go, oh wow, you've found the first piece. So here's the second piece, and will allow us to progress further in this area. There we go, thank you very much, Tok. And he presents you with the second keystone. That will now allow us to go through the door we were at earlier and move on to the next stage of Inkwater Marsh. And I believe once we do that, we will get a proper attack for the willow to use. We do actually have a short, I'm going to quotations call this a boss battle coming up. It's not quite a boss battle because we don't have to battle the boss, but it's something more than like just a standard creature, as you'll see what I mean in a second when he starts to spawn. Make sure you get to jump on that to get full health, because you will get damaged no matter what in this chase. As you can see, there is a massive, it's basically a wolf type creature who's going to chase you. All you need to do to get past this quotations boss, as you might be able to call it, is just run away from him. Keep running to the right, keep jumping, jump over all the obstacles, climb obstacles, and then we get to this part here and he'll be stuck. I didn't mention this earlier, but I would recommend doing this on easy if all you're going for is to get to beat the game, which is what this walkthrough is kind of showing you. It's not going to give you any tactical analysis on how to beat enemies on hard or anything like that. Purely done on easy, so we can quickly get through the game as quick as possible. There we go. That's all you needed to do to beat the boss. Was re-pick up some fire, hit him 3 times. I'm guessing on medium and hard it's quite a more difficult fight with the wolf, but on easy it's a simple case of 3 hits and he's gone. And he literally only took half health off him. It was half of a single piece of life, as you can see in the bottom middle part. Make your way back past the part we ran down through, and we're going to jump all the way down and head to our right. This definitely is where we get our attack. I finally should mention. Try not to get yourself stuck like I managed to do there. And keep on heading to the right. There we go. Also, don't go down this area. I did that. We'll be going down this area later, just not yet. For now, just head to the right, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. It's where we're heading to, and that is this big glowing tree. We're going to go to the big glowing tree. We're going to interact with it, and it's going to give us the ability to be able to hit people. There would be a little cutscene at this area once we interact with the tree, but I have cut it out because I didn't think it was very helpful for the whole walkthrough to have that extra bit in. You can see it when you're playing the game. So there we go, the tree's interacting with us, we're interacting with the tree, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's doing, it's giving us the power to use, like, I don't even know what it's called, but it's giving us the power to attack enemies, shall we call it. Just wait for this cutscene to end. Once we've beaten this cutscene, we're going to be hopping around the right hand side to go back over that tree, and we're going to go to the area where I said not to go to before, where you have to drop down and hit the tree. Doing so will get us to an area where we unlock double jump. So that's the next area we're going to go to. And side note, that's actually where I got stuck for a good 20 minutes not realising what I need to do. So the point here, once the cutscene ends, you're going to hold LT. You're going to choose which button you want to use, whether it be X, Y or B. Obviously you're going to get more powers as the game goes on, and more dangerous attacks and better attacks, such as like a bow and arrow. Ignore the freezing. That has been, I found, a bit of an issue with the game, but we're not here to criticise the game. All we're here to do is beat the game, of course. So keep making your way around the area. It's quite obvious where you need to go. And miss the jump like I did there. Actually, don't miss the jump like I did there. Make sure you do the jump properly. At this point, I would say we're about halfway through this level. I'd say we've done the easy part. Now it's on to the part where it's a little bit more difficult. Obviously, we've got more and more enemies to face off now, but nothing too challenging, I would say. So as I was saying before, the part where there is a door locked, which is what we're going to be working towards, I literally got stuck there for a good 10, 15, even 20 minutes, not realising we could drop down this tree and head underground to unlock double jump. I was just kind of going over and over again, around the same area, going, where do I meant to go? Because you need double jump to unlock the second part of the key, and obviously you need the first part of the key and double jump. And it just couldn't work it out till eventually I realised, oh wait, there is a bit of a tree here that we can fall down. So this point is telling us about the map and where we want to head to in order to complete this Inkwater Marsh area. So drop down, as we said. Just keep making your way downwards at this point. You don't need to pick up that container, but obviously it's there, so you can pick it up if you want to. And once we've got to this level here, we're going to head off to our left, where, as pointed out, the double jump is located. If you went right, then you'd be stuck. Well, you wouldn't be stuck, you'd be able to get back to this point, but to progress on the right, you need the double jump. So you want to pick up this rock, push it across the bridge, and obviously that allows us to get enough height to be able to jump. Keep following the path to the left, and we have a little I'm not even, this isn't even worth calling a boss area, but we have a little area where we need to do a fight. We can now use our ability for the first time properly to fight the enemies. But there's about 3 enemies in total who's going to appear here. If you take them all out, the door will then open. And then from here you have the tree. Absorb the light of the tree and we will get double jump. As promised earlier. A little bit earlier than I promised, but we now have double jump. Now don't make your way back yet, because obviously we need to get this shard, which will allow us to well, it's called a sticky, but we need that for later. Now we can't reach up the way that we went on the way in to get the double jump feature, but we can now make our way on the right hand side, like on the lower path, to make our way back, and we're already back. Keep heading right till where I talked about before, where you get stuck. Where we went left, we're now going to go right. Don't go down. If you go down, you'll get, well, you won't get again. Sorry, you do want to go down at this point here, because there's a lever we need to press. What am I talking about? Don't go down. Pull the lever. That lets us go down, and there is another shard down there. So obviously you want to make your way back up to where that bridge was. Ignoring the little lag again we had there. This time you can't go down there because the laser will instantly kill you. So push the brick into the fire of the laser, which will allow us to shield us. We can then jump up and pick up the item. From here we're going to make our way back up to the starting point where the tree was that we got our attacking maneuver. We're not going directly back to the tree, but that's the area we need to go. Obviously again, just follow the directions that I'm going. And once we go through this door, that's when the exploring ability is going to come to you, where there's lots of like side quests you can do, or little like people you can speak to, little missions. We're going to ignore all of that and just make our way to the end of the level and go straight to the next area. This point, this is where I was stuck, and I was like, how on earth are you meant to do anything? Try to avoid the creature or kill the creature, and that is our second key to the door. You can now interact with the door to insert the keystones, and that will let us through. There is only one more door that we need to get through, and that's where we will be heading to next, and we will pick up the ability to use a bow and arrow in order to get through that door, which is pretty cool. But for now, just follow my directions and we'll get to where we need to be. Picking up any items as you go along if you want to. None of them are essentially required. Only the things we're picking up are the things that are required, but feel free to pick them up as you go along to make your game a little bit easier to do. This point, the direction that we need to do is quite obvious, but like I say, it does split off. And go and jump across again, and then up to the next platform. Now, there's going to be a guy here that we can talk to that can offer us a side quest, which is easy to complete. You just need to follow the path to the right, but again, don't worry about that too much. We aren't going to go for the side quest. If you want to do it, feel free. It is literally just following an obstacle course to the right hand side, speak to someone, and that completes it. But for now, we just want to continue heading off to the left, as far left as we can go. till we hit this tree. This tree isn't the most important thing. This tree allows you to heal using energy. If you're playing on easy, it shouldn't be too much of an issue anyway. It's called regenerate, as you can see there. It's not something we need on this level because there's not many creatures even to take out. That jump can be done, as you'll see in a second, but can be a little bit of an issue. And then, like we'll say, just keep going left. Now, at the top of this area, there is a guy who is selling maps on the right hand side. Feel free to talk to him and buy his maps. It will count towards an achievement for the game. But if you are following me, then there's not much to... you're not going to need the map for anything, if I'm honest with you. But if it floats your boat, feel free to buy from him. And in which case we're going to keep heading left until we get to this point, and we're going to go jump back across onto this wooden platform and make our way up. There we go. Now we're going to keep heading right. At this point we're going to meet a guy selling special abilities. Well, not special abilities, but like abilities for your attack. Like much stronger attacks than would be usual than the one we've got at the moment, which is just attack off of things like sentries, which will do attacking for you. I'm not necessarily going to take anything from him. I don't feel like it's necessary here, but if there's anything that takes your fancy, feel free. Sorry about my controller dying there. I think it happens one more time in this run through as well, but just for a second I cut out the bit that was the long scramble for a battery. Now I don't even know if this is the right way to go, but I do know it works. So once you finish talking to him, swing onto that vine and round. Then there's a blue platform here. I know I make a total mess of this, and I think it takes me like 4 attempts in total. We want to use your blue platform to jump across to this long stick. You want to hold up, I believe. That'll start you spinning, and then you press the jump button and you'll have a super jump. Now this time I managed to miss the stick altogether, and I'm pretty sure the next time as well I miss the stick altogether. Or I managed to make the jump and then managed to fall. One of the two. Put your vote down in the comment section down below on what you think is going to happen next. And it was the managed to do the jump but fall straight away. Well done me. This time should be the one. Yeah. Jump on the side, do 2 little jumps, double jump over. There we go, and we come into the last area of the Inkwater Marsh. Well, we'll call it level. From here you're going to pick up your bow, and then you're also going to pick up 2 eyes, which will allow us to progress to the next area. Now my game decides like to fully freeze altogether, which is always fun. We'll pick it back up right away. I do think that issue is from having an old Xbox, and apparently the issue happens on an Xbox One S as well. But if you've got an Xbox One X, you shouldn't have the issues that I've had with the freezing and the lagging and so forth. So from here we have another little cutscene. With our little birdie. I did keep this one in. I'm not sure why I decided to keep this one in my video, but maybe I didn't even realise it was there. But that was our little birdie friend that we're following. And from here you'll notice the path comes quite clear on what you need to do next. As you could have guessed, you're going to jump over them areas and up to that guy. There you go. Jump onto your platform, do a little bit of platforming here, not much, and jump up the right hand side. This little statue we're jumping up, we need to get his eyes. Don't even need to talk to Tok. But we need to get his eye, retrieve his eyes, and he will let us into the next area, Qualop's Hollow, which I've probably butchered that name. But so now we want to go back on ourselves, and now that that little, we'll call it acid, poison water, whatever you want to call it, now that's retreated, we can jump down and find another tree. See, first of all, you want to do a little bit of platforming, but this area here, we can jump down and retrieve our new special power. Once again, X to absorb the light, as you could have guessed, and we get a nice little spirit arc, which is also known as a bow. Again, pick which kind of button you want to associate that bow with. You will need the bow to get out of this area. Without the bow you won't. Hit the little blue light, which will do a little interaction. The next one is in our top right from where we're standing. Obviously you can see. And I hit the bug instead. Oh well. That'll make that rock appear. Now that you've only got a couple of seconds to jump on that rock, so if you fall you will have to do the same thing again. For some reason my next blue button didn't like kind of go onto the screen, but there you can see where you need to go. Hitting that will activate a rock on the left. You can see there, jump a bit higher, and then jump back onto the land with a little double jump. And you get a little super boost as well. Next one's quite obvious, just on that right hand side. You might have to do a jump and then hit it, or you can hit it from that area here, and that will give us an eye stone, which is the key to the next area, as we mentioned earlier. We need one more eye stone. Luckily the eye stone is literally just next to where we are. Now if you run out of special power, because obviously you need power to use the bow, these little blue mushroom pads you can see here that aren't super jumps, they give you back energy. And if you want to just restock just to make sure you've got enough power, then you can do so. Our last one is our hardest jump. Obviously you need to do another spinny thing where you launch up high, then shoot whilst in midair. Nicely done first time. And do one more and jump to the right, and that will be our last eye, which will be the last collectible to allow us into the next area. So head back onto our right where the guy was, that big stone temple was. He'll open his mouth nice and wide, and we can go in. And that will be the end of part 1. Part 2, as you may have guessed, will get us through Qualop's Hollow, and that should be released very soon. I hope this guide helps out for you though. If it does, please smash that like, click subscribe to get even more daily guides, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!